Okay, welcome back. This is going to be the last one we're going to look at. It looks like there's a whole bunch of stuff going on right here, but we're just going to think of everything inside of the absolute value. Think of it as just one giant variable, just one giant x. Just think of it that way. And if you think of it that way, you got what? 5x minus 2 over 4 is equal to 7. If you think of it that way, it'll be a little bit easier to do this. All right, it's not that, but that's how we're going to think of it in order to get it by itself. We have to get the absolute value by itself on the left side of the inequality before we can deal with the absolute value part of it. All right, so having said that, I know that I need to get rid of the 5, the -2, and the 4. The best thing to do is, it's kind of like a reverse GIMDOS. I want to get rid of my 4 first. I want to get rid of a fraction first because that's just like it will make it a lot easier for our brains to deal with this. How do you get rid of a fraction? You multiply by the denominator. How do you undo division? You multiply. So we know that these two are going to cancel out. These two are going to cancel out. And that's going to leave us with 5 times the absolute value of x plus 3, and all of that minus 2. Now, we multiplied this term, this whole side, by 4. That means we have to multiply this by 4. And what is 7 times 4? Well, it's 28. All right, there we go. Now we can deal with this. Now we've got it down to this. Now I need to get rid of the 5 or the -2. If I divide out the 5, well, first of all, what's going on between the 5 and this? Well, what's going on between the 5 and this right here? This is a grouping symbol of the G in GIMDOS, and you have a number or a letter next to a grouping symbol. Whenever you have a number or a letter next to a grouping symbol, like next to parentheses, that's multiplication. And how do you undo multiplication? You have to divide. So I need to divide that 5 out. If I divide the 5 out of this term, I have to divide it out of this term and out of this term. It would be nice if I got rid of this term first. So why don't we do that? Why don't we just add 2 to both sides? -2 plus 2 is 0. Okay, so we're just going to add 2 to both sides. That's 5 times the absolute value of x plus 3. Well, -2 plus 2 is 0, right? And 28 plus 2, 28 plus 2 is 30. All right, there we go. Now we got rid of that. We only have one thing left to get rid of here, and that is that 5. We got 5 times this whole thing here. How do you undo multiplication? You divide. You divide. And these cancel, and I end up with just the x plus 3. Okay? And if I divide this one by 5, I have to divide this one by 5. And 30 divided by 5 is 6. So now I've got it down to something that I recognize from before. I've got I'm dealing with one just like that. X plus 9 was, what was that? That was x plus 9 is less than 1. We're going to do it the same way. The big part was just getting it down to this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to write it down exactly as we see it inside the absolute value bars. X plus 3, less than or equal to 6. Treat it like an equation. Take 3 away from both sides, and I end up with x is less than what? 6 minus 3. 6 minus 3 is 3. So there's that side. Over here, I take the opposite of everything that I see in here. The opposite of everything that I see in there. The opposite of x is negative x. The opposite of 3 is negative 3. Okay. Now, add 3 to both sides, and I end up with negative x is less than or equal to 6. I'm sorry, add 3 to both sides. Yeah, 6 plus 3 is 9. All right. Now, can't have negative x, and we know if it's negative x by itself, the trick to that is flip the inequality, make the negative jump to the other side, and I have x is greater than or equal to negative 9. Now, can you be smaller than 3 and bigger than negative 9? Can you be to the left of 3 on the number line and to the right of negative 9 on the line? Yeah, there's a bunch of numbers in between there. All right, so that is an and. Both inequalities go to the left. The x goes in the middle. Which number is smaller, the 3 or the negative 9? Negative 9 is smaller. It goes on the left. 3 goes on the right. You need to double check and make sure that there's not, oh, there is an equals. Okay, there's an equals on that one. And there's an or equals on that one. And that is how you do that great big one right there. All right, so as always, if you have any questions, just let me know. Good luck, practice, get better. Thank you very much.